All right, thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be with you today. We're just going to be sharing, or I'm going to be sharing with you my vision for the School of Engineering and my humble accomplishments and work that have been done in the last 16 years at UNF, and the involvement that I have in interdisciplinary research with other faculty members here at the university and with 8 other universities, the work that I've done with students as well, and the involvement with the industry. So before I get started, I looked up some visions, very ambitious visions that's not related to my presentation, but I'm just going to share that with you if you don't mind. When I saw the first one, which is really interesting, Honda said we will destroy Yamaha. That was back in the 70s. Nike said that we're going to crush Adidas, and Kennedy said by the end of the decade we'll put a man on the moon, and Stanford University said that we're going to become the Harvard of the West. So I thought, how can I tweak that? And I say UNF will be destroying UF. We will crush UCF and FSU and the USF, and by the end of 40 years we are going to improve the retention and graduation rate and elevate the School of Engineering status and to become the Harvard of the South. How can we do that? That's wishful thinking if we don't have the ingredients for success. That is cognitive bias per se, if we just say that and claim that we're going to be better than these flagship schools and say that with the size that we're having, we are going to accomplish this and that. But honestly, if we look at that from a different angle and don't give in to this kind of comparison, if we have this much fun, those many students, those many faculties would have been having greater success. If we stop just like for a second and look at the competitive advantage that we have, then we're going to succeed. And what is the competitive advantage that I see here at the School of Engineering? It's you, all of you guys as faculty members. And I looked at each and every one of us as far as the background, as far as the caliber and the accomplishments. And I think that we can develop together competitive edge. We don't have to compete with other institutions in getting greater funds, but we can achieve some success. And we've been seeing that. We've been seeing some faculty members getting projects and win projects against other big institutions. So I'm breaking my presentations after the first vision that we had that's not pertaining to us, but I'm going to come to the vision that's really important. We're breaking that to background about myself, about my thoughts about the leadership style, and what I think about the School of Engineering director should have as far as the role itself. And before we get to the challenge, it's like any business model, we have to do marketing analysis. We understand exactly what the challenges that we're having here within the School of Engineering and outside in Florida and nationwide. We see what challenges we have, and then we address this and say, okay, we are going to evaluate the customers that we're having, which are the clients, basically the students and the industrial firms that they are evaluating, or rather hiring our students. And we evaluate the product that we have, and the product that we have is the learning, the experience, the international experience or the learning experience of the students. And then we control that product and control that process of learning over time and fine tune that and tweak it. So I'm going to break the vision into 3 main parts. One of them is achieving success for the students and enhancing their learning experience. The other part is development for faculty, development for the staff. And the third one is very important, is how to rebrand and market our School of Engineering so that we will have a higher position, higher profile, and we can attract more funds and we can interact with the community. And I had that ambitious vision. Basically, we're helping each other here so that we all achieve success. And at the very end, we have the mechanical, the manufacturing, the civil engineering, the electric engineering. This is the thought that I have in mind. And I'm going to stress on something here that I lead by success, lead by example, and I practice what I preach. And I'm going to keep saying this message over and over again, and so that we understand what I am aiming at. Before I get started, I just want to introduce my family to you and my kids, and basically the struggle that we go through. This picture looks very joyful and nice and for success, but behind that there are layers of suffering, crying, tears, ups and downs. It's like in any family. And basically the extension of this family is you guys and the students. So I feel like whatever I'm going through at home, helping my kids, to go over or like over any hurdles, overcome any hurdles, and just like succeed. I'm doing the same exact thing with the students, and we do that through the promotion and tenureship, getting projects. We go through suffering and pain. So I feel the family that I have here, and this is the extended family of my kids. Background. I got my doctorate degree back in '94 at North Carolina State University, NC State, which is number 16 in engineering in the nation. And 27 years after that, I made that huge mistake, but honestly, I got the MBA from UNF 27 years after that for a reason, and that is pertaining to that position. If we are advocating in ABIT and other things, pursuit of knowledge, sharpening the skills, and acquiring new knowledge and lifelong learning, I am a living example, at least for myself, that I pursued that at my age, and I got for 6 years of studying 48 credit hours to earn my MBA. That gave me some sort of edge as far as leadership skills and finance and administration that I had no clue about before. So I believe that this is a good example for our students that yes, you can seek more knowledge. I'm a professional engineering licensed engineer, both in Florida and in Canada. And I was a founding faculty member at Florida State University in Panama City. That's almost 20 years ago, recruiting and fundraising and developing all the courses. And we had great success. I was blessed with your support and with the faculty support as well to be selected as a distinguished professor in 2018. And that is something, the meaning or the reason I'm mentioning that, because we need a leader, I think, from my humble point of view, that is reflecting the image of the School of Engineering. He's recognized at the school level, the university level, in the community, and nationally and internationally. And I'm sure any of the candidates achieve that. So any one of our faculty members here at the UNF will be able to lead and reflect this good image. I also got recognition from institutions like Priest Concave Institution, which is a national scientific and professional institution, to select me as the academic chair in 2018, and I still am the academic chair for the PCI Foundation Academic Council and a member of the Board of Trustees. I'm also an ABIT evaluator, so I go for evaluation other schools, and I had industrial experience working as a specs manager in a British company for construction chemicals and as a bridge engineer as well in Orlando. The scholarly activities that's pertaining to this project, if we're saying that interdisciplinary work, interdisciplinary research, I led teams from 8 different universities, and from our school as well, we partner with other professors to conduct research that secured $2.5 million of funding and publish over 100 papers with students and faculty members. And the awards that I really cherish, and I like the ones that I highlighted here, I just like underlined, is that the recognition, the national award to be having the Educator of the Year award that I received. And that is a good deal for UNF, that will be known nationally that they have an educator and have a professor who won this Educator of the Year award. I also got another award, which is to establish the first engineering design studio in the US through the PCI from 2009 till 2015. And I got award and the blessings from the State Department to be a Fulbright scholar, served for 6 months in the United Arab Emirates. And I got a specialist, also Fulbright specialist through the State Department to serve in Canada for a month. And that is, I believe, national recognition as well for us. In addition to some state awards and some University of North Florida awards, like all of us did, scholarship award, teaching award, leadership award, service award. But the one that I love, of course, and it came with some money, is the Distinguished Professor Award that we had in 2018. As far as leadership skills, since we say that we give examples for junior faculty members and students as well, I took the initiative to take 10 faculty members on exchange programs rather, and international academic visits to Turkey, Morocco, and Egypt to have this articulation agreement and strengthen the ties with the 3 institutions there. And it was wonderful from different departments, anthropology, political science, health and science, and business, to come with me to those 3 countries. And that was great to accomplish that. I led students groups also for study abroad. Because again, the key for our success is to rebrand our image and say that we have the rich experiential learning hands-on experience. One of the key issues that I see that we can distinguish ourselves from UF and other institutions is that we say that we have that rich experiential learning, going for transformational learning opportunities nationally and internationally. So I took the initiative to go to Ghana with the students, and that was the first engineering trip, transformational learning opportunities trip to that. And after that, our colleague took over and did a wonderful job as far as Ghana projects. I took them to Morocco, Italy, and Germany. And the good thing is also I've been an invited guest speaker in Germany and in Italy, and collaborated also an invited guest speaker in Egypt and Canada. I believe this stuff that I took from my CV pertaining to the director position. The role of the director from my humble point of view is that I've been thinking, what do we need now? What do we aspire to achieve? And where are we and where are we heading? So I thought that we need this collegiality, and we need to inspire everyone to work collectively, or if someone opt to work on his own or her own, that's fine too, but we need to provide that, encourage it, and to reward it to have that kind of rich interdisciplinary work. We need to reach our full potential, and I'm sure we will with this 24 plus faculty members that we have here at the School of Engineering. Everyone's coming with a huge, wonderful skill set, and we've been seeing projects after projects and enhanced teaching. This is great. So we need to achieve that common goal and personal goals as well for each and every one of us to help. In order to achieve that, again, we have to have that competitive advantage. What are we really presenting differently than other institutions? So I looked at the website for the 24 faculty members that we're having here, and each one of them has got wonderful projects, as you can see. So I listed mechanical, manufacturing, electrical, and civil engineering. We have wonderful group of 24 plus faculty members here that they're doing fantastic job with minimum resources. And I'm going to get to that to see what the challenges that we're having, and then that we can help to develop the vision for that. So the role of the director that I see is not someone who is maintaining the status quo. I believe that we have to have one who's grower, who's growing the school as far as the size of the faculty, as far as the size of the students, as far as the projects funded, the funded projects and the money that's getting, and again, a unique and superb learning experience for the students that is different than other institutions. So that leader, I believe that should have a leadership style that is collaborative and at the same time strategic. We don't have someone who is like in planning or operational or functional, that's day-to-day only. We need that, that's for sure. We need that day-to-day activities, but at the same time, we need someone who's got this overall picture and help the faculty. And again, the vision is coming from the bottom up, as I mentioned earlier, in the meeting in the morning, which is buying in. Everyone is feeding to that vision, and it's been formed by the faculty with collaboration with the director. And basically having a vision, what are our unique selling proposition, unique selling points are. That's basically what is the niche that we are going to develop here at UNF. Because if we compete with UF, I've seen them earning at UCF $212 million for research fund in 2021. At UF, they are putting $1 billion of research. I mean, it is really, really hard unless if we really find our niche and see exactly where we are. Again, I believe that leading by example, if I tell the students to excel, I have to excel as a faculty. If I tell my junior faculty members to enhance their learning experience and just encourage them to do that, I provide them with the tools, but at the same time, they see a living example that I am practicing what I am preaching. And I am going to show you that. I mentioned the MBA, which is a pursuit of knowledge, lifelong learning, and sharpening my skills. And it helped me talk better a little bit, manage better, and have some sort of marketing skills, which is fantastic after 5 years of work. And also leading by example, when I say experiential learning, I led several faculty members and several groups in international study abroad and working here at UNF as well. And we need someone who is exhibiting integrity and have some national and international recognition, whether it's an international award, it's a national award, chairing conference sessions. I mean, all of this actually polishing the image, because at the end of the day, the industry would love to support successful program that's got vision. And you can look up UCF and FSU and UF, and you see just yesterday they awarded some projects to the industry that I'm going to share with you, millions of dollars to build some labs at UCF that has been done last week and yesterday. So reflecting the good faith and giving the dean the accurate feedback that he needs, in addition to the budget and scheduling and all the other things. So before we get to the third part, or rather the fourth part, which is the vision, the challenges. What are the challenges that we're having? We do have a number of challenges here, which is the retention and the graduation rate, and how can we increase that, and how we help the school, I mean, peer partnership. So this freshman that or whoever is taking intro to engineering, if we team them up with a sophomore or a junior or a senior member or student, I think that kind of peer partnership inspires somehow, because don't forget, many of the students that we're having here, they switch and transfer to other institutions, unfortunately. We are not the first choice for students. So how can we make UNF or School of Engineering the premier choice for our students? This is something that we need to work together to get. So I believe peer partnership is good. Engage early, meaning that we go to the high school and middle school. Yes, we're doing fantastic job as far as inviting them over here and taking them for tours and all this stuff. We need to build in that more and even go beyond that. When I joined 16 years ago, we used to go to Nice high schools and other high schools and middle schools. We need to strengthen that by faculty members so that we reach out to the students before they even consider choosing the institutions. Early interventions. So for these freshmen that we're having, if they're struggling a little bit at the beginning, we just need to say, okay, what are you suffering from? Is it money issue? Is it some sort of calming down, just like empathy that we're providing them? All these factors actually make a big difference. And we've seen some sad incidents of students suffering in the last few years, especially in the last year because of pandemic and other issues as well. Move the tuition, so help the university to move the tuition itself by increasing the enrollment. And then the most important part is the bottom part, which is coping with the changes. We have innovation that is moving at a staggering rate. We need our education to reflect that. And we are doing a fantastic job, and we need to work on that a little bit more. My involvement with the industry is saying that some of the courses that we're offering are not relevant. We need to make sure that our courses are relevant to the industry and the changing kind of dynamics in the industry. The other thing is that we know, I talk to kids and I talk to parents, they say, oh, the education is not really encouraged. So the public start doubting the higher education, and we need to strengthen that and say, no, the higher education is helping the socioeconomic progress and mobility of the students, and we give them the proof for that. So just raise the awareness about the value of both the undergraduate and the graduate education. The other thing is the needs of the students. The learning style, we noticed that in the last few years, is just changing. So we probably need to sharpen our skills. And well, I'm going to talk about that faculty development to sharpen our skills. And I myself did that as well, so that we can somehow provide different ways of delivering the contents. This some of the challenge. The other challenge that I'm talking about is space. Some of the faculty members secure some fund, they don't have space. We have that problem. Others, they don't have resources and they need some fund. We have limited resources. The number of students that we're having is declining from the numbers I received in the last 2 years. So it's either flat or we lost 12% over the last 2 years. So this is alarming, even counting for the pre-engineering when we added this number. So that is something that we need to address to see what is happening here, why the students are not coming. We have huge city right there. We have so many high school and middle school, huge industry. By all means, we need to increase, not make it flat. We need to increase the number of students that we're having in the 4 programs. We have a healthy picture for the graduate program in some aspects. We have 23 students CE, thanks to 2 major parts in transportation and in coastal engineering in particular, and other faculty members involved as well. And we have healthy number as well in EE and MEE, and we need to increase that. If we want to sustain that progress, we need to increase this number of students, whether we are provide financial support more, seek help from the industry to fund some of these students. We need to get together. That's the director of the School of Engineering doesn't have the magic wand. He's going to collaborate with the faculty members and brainstorm ideas to come up with a mechanism so that we can increase the number. The challenge that we're having, and we put it in red, the number of faculty members. First of all, we offer only master's students and some PhD in collaboration with 2 other institutions. Other institutions offer the master's and PhD. They have the infrastructure for that. We understand that. And the faculty number 7 and 9. So we have 24 faculty members in the whole School of Engineering versus 150 or 200 in other institutions. That's something challenging. That's why we have to think smartly and see what can we do to overcome that. So I came up with that slide that I think summarizes everything that I wanted to say about the student success that we are having, that we need to have an enhanced learning environment that will be reflected outside of the School of Engineering, experiential learning. And we say that on the website, on Facebook, on the social media, and we show pictures and we have that kind of chat rooms with the students. International learning opportunities that we provide for them, supplemental instructions. My daughter, when she was studying at UF, they have that kind of online supplemental instructions for every single subject that's helping. We need to strengthen this as well. I know that we're having the Thrive program right here at UNF, and I know that we have SASS program. We need to add to that the peer tutoring, and tutoring not just for my mechanics and dynamics and statics, but also for other courses. Because remember that if a student fails one course or get a D in one course, sometimes they have to wait for a whole year, and that's going to hurt our graduation rate as well. And academic success and the course offering, we need some sort of fixed course schedule to help our grad students to know exactly what the path is like. We help our Navy students that they come to know exactly what the courses that they're offered. We're doing a great job as far as scheduling, and we can do even better job than that. The course offering, it can be year-round. I know we don't have resources to offer courses in the summer, but we can repeat some courses in the fall and the spring. We have to be creative about that so that the students don't have to wait and don't lose a year or two because of just one course. We've seen so many students taking only one capstone design course in 1 year, in one semester. That is, I think, hurting us significantly. So we can do that. And also for the faculty development, we all are great instructors, we all are great researchers, and I myself, like others, we need to sharpen our skills more and more in teaching. We need to sharpen our skills in research. We need to provide any seminars for research skills, mentorship between faculty, junior and senior faculty members. It's happening in every institution. When I was in North Carolina State University, I've seen that. Like a junior faculty member and senior faculty members just lead the way and just giving him the connections and network and just advise him. We need to introduce, I believe, that's my vision, that the peer teaching evaluation to be coupled with the student questionnaire or the student survey, so that when they go to the promotion and tenure, they don't only rely on the students' input, but also peer evaluation. That's going to help for two things, for the P&T, and it's helping to give some sort of critical and nice constructive criticism for the faculty for him or her to enhance their expertise and teaching style. So that's a component that we need to address. Flexible funding and effective mentorship. Where do we get the money? Again, from the industry. We were lucky last week when we attended the engineering board that they are willing to pay. We talked about the fundamental exam, and we said that the hurdle is the $200-something. They said, we will pay for that. So the industry sometimes are willing to pay thousands of dollars in order for them to help a cause, to help something that we can propose in a very good way and show them the fruit for it. For the School of Engineering enhanced position, because I said that we need competitiveness and attractiveness. Competitiveness so that we can increase the pie, we can grow the market to the number of students that we're getting. And the other one, which is the attractiveness, so that the growth rate, so the number of students will grow. How can we do that? Polishing the image, pointing out the strengths of the School of Engineering, the fact that we're having that vibrant skill sets of faculty members that they're working together. And we've been seeing some faculty members doing research between civil and electrical, civil and mechanical. And this is fantastic. And I think that we need to add more and more. And some faculty members, they've been doing the adaptive toy, like with other departments here in town, and Brooks, the rehabilitation center. And we've been seeing the pattern that our colleagues are getting right and left, which is amazing. This is amazing just to look in the news and see how much progress each and every one of us is doing. There is a list of things that we can do. In Georgia Tech, as I mentioned in the morning, that they have that collaboration with AT&T and Udacity to establish something that's called project-based program or competency-based program. We can offer that as a certificate. We can offer that as a master. We can collaborate with industrial firm to do that. UCF is doing the same thing, by the way, with 2 companies. So that's something that we can get our industrial firms involved in. It's not just about donation, it's not just about guest speaker, but establish a program that is relevant to the industry. I believe that we can do a greater effort in some camps for the students, like 3 weeks program for high school seniors here in the summertime. Saturdays, every other Saturdays, they come for engineering discovery students, because we need to reach out to those junior, not junior, rather middle school and high school students before even considering coming to the college. Online courses with the industry. So that is another institution the MIT is offering. This is 4 months. It's fantastic that the first month is being offered online courses taught by the industry, and then another month that's taught by the administration, by the faculty, and then they bring them on campus to do some sort of projects and hands-on experience, and then the 4th month they come up with report analyzing all the results. I believe that we have to be creative and see what other people are doing and what can we do differently here, because we have a treasure, meaning we have tons of companies here. We have lots of industrial firms that we can tap into. So that is going to improve our performance matrix that it's been heard, and that is, I think, will grow the undergraduate and graduate program. Practice what I preach. I took the students to Ghana, Germany, Italy, and Morocco. And here in Ghana, as you can see, we had 4 projects to help the orphan children home. And that was the first international service learning opportunity for the School of Engineering. And we were able to do the following, these 4 projects. The first project was to revamp and reconstruct the drinking water and connect it to the city water and build the foundation, break out the foundation that we had earlier and bring the new foundation in and connect. That was really remarkable that we have 23 students, 4 of them from School of Engineering, other from nursing and political science, to join and do this kind of project and improve the health of the students. The other one, which is really, really important to improve the sanitary condition and have that gray water system, they had that open gutters over there that's breeding for the mosquitoes and malaria and diarrhea, and they have multiple people dying and getting sick every single year. And they approached us, and the solution was easy, just availing the money and just helping them work. So the students did a remarkable job with the locals here, that they broke out this open gutters, and they had this bird pipes all the way to the infiltration pit, and they had a great success with that. The third project that we've done is also very simple. They have that hut, and we did reframing and the play hut for the kids, reframing and screening, so that we can prevent the mosquitoes again from killing them, basically. This is a group of faculty members, amazing involvement for a couple of weeks with the students from different groups, different colleges here. And this was something that I did, I enjoyed doing when that was 2009, 12 years ago or so. I also took the students to historic restoration of Italy, following the footstep of the previous administration visit to Italy. So we went there and we did a repair work for a 1,000 years old castle. I used to be a specs manager for a British company before dealing with construction chemicals, but I learned a great deal from the Italian counterpart. They had new materials, they had new techniques for repair, because this is not conventional for concrete and steel. This is for masonry, the rocks that is 1,000 years old. That's different. So I learned from it, they learned from it. So it was not just tourism, it was rather involvement with the consultants, with the contractors. And we went to Perugia and we visited seismic affected structures and seismic affected churches and the repair work. This is unique. I've never had that kind of experience in my undergrad, nor my grad, nor my postdoc that I did in 2 institutions in Canada and the US. So this is something that we can brag about and talk about. I took the students also to Germany. We visited 4 projects. It was very intense, 2 days for every project. Repair of the Cologne Cathedral, and we were the first group to visit all the way to the top of the repair of that cathedral. We went to flood protection project in Cologne, and then construction site and the steel bridge in Bonn. This is 150 feet above water level, and we did a great job with this. So the students have learning experience. You see the involvement with the German students, with the German faculty members, and the locals. It was great and rich experience. I also took the students to Morocco, and these are from anthropology, political science students, and we learned a great deal over there. We did some work here as well. Field trips, I take the students to 25 field trips in Jacksonville and in Orlando when they were building the hospital for UCF School of Medicine. The involvement with the industry, observing this kind of project, as you can see here in Jacksonville, this is phenomenal that the students can see concrete, bridges, and you see the fiber-reinforced polymers applied to some structures, the epoxy being done, and we have the Haskell company, RS&H, and many other companies involved with that. Was great. That was before I come here to UNF. That was at UCF when I was there, and at FSU, I was doing the same exact thing. Also, experiential learning. Again, I am leading by example, and I always do things before I ask students or my colleagues to even consider doing. We have projects, and like many of you guys have wonderful projects with the students to apply fiber-reinforced polymers, the latest kind of technology that they have, fiber-reinforced polymer, the type of epoxy that they're using, and conditioning this, meaning that accelerating the degradation of these materials, and we publish from that extensively. We had student competitions, not just the ASE, but also the PCI. And the fruit of this is that we won the first place regionally and the fourth place nationally in 2 years, until the machine broke down, and now luckily our colleague fixed this, so this is fantastic news for us. So polishing the image of the school through these competitions is significant. These are the student competitions as well that I had. And then when we talk about interdisciplinary work and paying that to the society and the environment and just teaming up, I teamed up with the College of Education so that we can repair and provide architecture rendering and material list for this African American, the Martin Cultural Heritage Center here in Jacksonville. I also did work in 2011, 10 or 11 years ago, with a writing center and with an architecture firm here in town so that we can enhance what we always talk about, the communication skills, both written and verbal. How can we do that? And I myself benefited from that significantly. So it was really nice to have 36 students going there in the summer class, being assessed at the beginning, in the middle of semester, and the end of semester. By doing what? Submit RFP or request for qualification, RFQ, request for qualification letter, and they assess the letter, the presentation style, the emails that they're sending, and they give them some feedback. So this is really good. I brought 24 invited guest speakers from everywhere, from Italy, from Japan, from Germany, from Egypt, from the US as well. So UNF became the hub of pre-stressed, precast concrete. The Corps of Engineers came here to attend, other firms came here to attend this kind of sessions. This guy right there is a manager of a company that's doing injection of epoxy. It was my first time to see this style and technique that he was doing. It was amazing to do. And then I am so honored to have some students' feedback at the very end after they graduate and leave, and they honestly suffered under my teaching, like it was hard, but they thanked me at the end, and they said that we learned a great deal. Coming to the second part of the vision, which is the faculty, as I mentioned earlier, maintain the mentorship and the peer teaching evaluation, and fight for space. We need the space, and we need to fight for that space, and that is something that we have to work on. The other thing I really advocate is developing graduate certificates and continuing education. This is something that's not going to cost us much. If we have 5-course certificate that we develop, it can be on sustainable and resilient energy systems, like other schools are doing that. It can be on sensor technology, collaboration between mechanical manufacturers, civil and mechanical, to have this kind of certification. In addition to undergrad and grad, that is really good. That's going to increase our like productivity, and the profile is going to enhance our profile. Competency-based or project-based courses that similar to, as I mentioned, Georgia Tech, that they are doing. Again, I listed this faculty member that you see before. Again, leading, I led 10 faculty members to go to these 3 exchange programs in Morocco, Turkey, and Egypt. And I also gave my part to the Office of Faculty Enhancement for the training of the students and how to have this kind of integrated community-based learning and the classrooms. The last part, which is enhancing the School of Engineering image, as I said, that we need UNF to be the prominent choice, the first choice for some students. It's really hard to achieve, but if we can achieve some success, that'll be great. If you aim for the star and just reach the moon or something, that would be fantastic. I mean, we need to aim high as much as possible, and we can land somewhere, and we can achieve some success with that. We need to be recognized, and I believe that we're going to be recognized. If the faculty members, if the leadership are international and nationally recognized, I believe that's sending a strong message to outside that this is the caliber that we're having at UNF, and it's going to send message to other students that they're considering coming to UNF, that this is where they're going to get into, and this is what they're going to benefit from. Why I am optimistic about UNF? Because we have the JAXPort, we have 3 like rail system here, CSX and Norfolk and the East Coast, and we have 3 naval stations. We have, I would say, tens or hundreds of industrial firms that we need to leverage our connections with. I've been invited guest speaker to Germany in Cologne, and I give a presentation there. I've been to Hokkaido University, invited to talk about our research here, to Tokyo Robe. It's a company that's producing specific material for pre-stressed concrete girders. I've been also to United Arab Emirates and to Egypt as well. I also collaborated both ways with Italy, inviting the Italian professor to come here to campus, and we have 200 persons attending from different companies and consulting firms and contractors attending this session about restoration of historic building. And I myself went to Matera in Italy to see work that they are doing for this city that is 2,000 plus years old, and we see what they have done. I've been invited guest speaker here in Florida to offer professional engineering education like ours as well, and I conducted that at the Haskell company. I presenting the stuff that I feel pertaining to the image of the leader or the director of the School of Engineering. I was blessed with your support to be a distinguished professor. And why am I listing 3 pictures or 3 different presidents? Because I was selected once, and I was a runner-up in the other 2 cases in 2016 and 2017. So I hope that each and every one of us will have a fair shot and will be a distinguished professor, and that will enhance our reputation and image here in Jacksonville. I didn't shy away from presenting to TV. I had over 25 or 26 interviews with TV, especially after the Matthews Bridge got hit by this naval ship. And all of a sudden I found them at the door of my classroom asking for an interview, and we start one after another. I had like 3 or 4 interviews in one day, and then the following day and the following day. Doesn't that polish the image of the School of Engineering? Absolutely. And I've seen several videos and several TV interviews from faculty here. That's amazing. We need to keep doing that, and that's enhancing our image. The other thing is that even they asked our students to develop an animation for the ship and the bridge, and I had my students develop that kind of animation, presenting that on TV. So our students showed up on TV, as you can see right here, showing the animation of that bridge. I also, as I say, lead by example. I've been recognized. I got this national award to be the Educator of the Year award. And they had a very nice, fancy video that I'm bragging about. My kids, they hate me for that, but I have to. And that is really nice. And this is the academic chairman message that I had, that I was part of awarding 33 design studios all over the US. And as I mentioned, we were the first engineering design studios being established in 2009. I got that international recognition. We got the letters from the State Department, the Senate, the State Senate, and the State Department sent us to Canada and to United Arab Emirates as both Fulbright Scholar and Fulbright Specialist as well. All of that adds to the image that we have. I do my best as far as fundraising, even $3,000, I reach out for that. And we were able to get the golf tournament fundraising last summer, $3,000 for the School of Engineering activities. We got some other checks from IQUI and Florida Pre-Stressed Concrete Associations, checks for the students as well. So this kind of fundraising and outreach is important. As far as research, the research I'm doing interdisciplinary research with faculty members here in the School of Engineering and with the other 8 universities, change the code, change the design code for bridges. So this is a laterally hit structures that I involved my undergrad and grad students, and we had that. That's another one for sealing of cracks using different types of epoxy and polyurethane and other materials. So we had 10 companies coming to campus showing us the product, and then we went to a bridge in Pensacola and we applied that and we chose the best one. There is another project which is empirical deck design that we collaborated with other faculty members in order for us to change the code. Golden opportunity. How can I build a full-scale bridge here in Jacksonville? So we built a full-scale bridge in Tallahassee at the Research Center, and our undergrad students and grad students went with me there, and we conducted the testing there. So this is unique that we had the opportunity to observe the design, the implementation, curing of concrete, testing, coming up with the report and the analysis, and changing the code of design. I collaborate with Japan and with Canada to have glass fiber reinforced members, like reinforcement instead of the steel ones, for a pilot project that was done in Miami. So this is something really good as far as collaboration. I partnered with North Carolina as well to do this characterization for 2 projects of carbon fiber reinforced polymers. And the last one that I did was a wonderful job as far as sensor technology. I had no clue whatsoever about how to do this project, and we got that project. We collaborated with mechanical engineering faculty and students as well. We got the FDT project to implement this sensor in South Florida. And that was amazing for us to say this is exactly what we're having. And we had the basalt fiber reinforced bars, and we embedded this fiber optic sensors and the sensor there. And we start going through the process and the travel, and we just finished that couple of weeks ago. So this is an example of rich learning environment for the students. That has to be highlighted. It's about storytelling. It's about making a story, give it to the outside world and say, this is what we're doing at UNF, and do other things like Facebook, like other social media. In conclusion, here is the vision to the left-hand side. And here is the qualification that I see. We're sending a message saying that if you work hard, working hard pays off. So getting promoted, getting tenureship and getting promoted, that pays off. We tell the students, if you work hard, you get success. Being recognized as this distinguished professor is really remarkable. Thank you so much for your support, but it's also something that's an image that I think pertains to someone. If I'm lacking some aspects in leadership or marketing, you go and seek help and get education. That's what I did with the MBA. For 6 years, I did that. That's a classic example for junior faculty members to sharpen their skills, for students to sharpen their skills as well, and seek knowledge. Pursuit of knowledge is something really great. So I believe that the message that we send to the students is keep learning, and that's exactly what we have to do. ABIT program evaluator. I mean, I gain nothing by doing that, but just getting to know other institutions and learning how you do things over there. Reflecting the good image of the School of Engineering, whether it is national recognition or international recognition, whether you are a guest speaker or Fulbright scholar or educator of the year or awards or chairing conference sessions, that is important. Conducting TV interviews contribute to that as well. Invited guest speaker contribute to that. I believe that the national awards as an educator of the year award and the first engineering design studio along with Fulbright scholar and Fulbright specialist is important. These are all important parts, I believe, in my humble point of view, for the image of the School of Engineering. Leading research teams from other institutions. If you don't have the lab here, you have no option but to collaborate with others. So we encourage that. So messages after message that we send to the students, we send to the constituents in the industry outside, advisory board, junior faculty members, and all our colleagues, how to participate in that. With that, I come to the conclusion of my presentation, and thank you so much. And I'll be glad to hear your question. Thank you so much.